has given very clear orders today with regard to sealed covered reports being filed before courts and about freedom of the press. This in context of the MediaOne media house ban. We're speaking to Advocate Pallavi Pratap, who is part of the legal team which fought this case. Ma'am, first of all, what kind of impact do you see from a judgment like this on what has happened in the MediaOne case?
I think they have reiterated the position which is there as far as Aneesha Gandhi case was, and also reiterated that the press and the freedom of press actually is the most important foundation of a very vibrant democracy, specifically something which we observe as far as India is concerned. Also, the interesting part was about the sealed cover proceeding, which I think in various judgments we've been talking about. And what interestingly came out was that the sealed cover proceeding, even though it is given as far as the CPC provisions are concerned, it has to be still, looked upon as far as principles of natural justice is concerned. And therefore, they've come up with a guideline where they have issued and mandated certain steps which should be followed. For instance, an amicus curiae should be appointed in order to ensure that the principles of natural justice are followed. So I think it was a welcome move. All of us are quite excited by the judgment that has come, and I foresee definitely that a lot of changes will come about, specifically as far as sealed cover proceedings.
One important point that the court has made today is that you cannot raise the national security argument in thin air. How do you see this? What exactly has the court said about this point?
So what they've said is that under the garb of national security, you cannot do any and everything. You basically have to ensure that it is tested on the touchstone of not only democracy but also in terms of looking at it from principles of natural justice. What they said was that national security is a very big term, but to use it or blanketly, upon every single issue that pops up might not be the correct way of taking it forward. So what they have come up with is that every single matter should be looked at as far as the national security is concerned. The definition of it should be very, very, broadly used, not perhaps to just link up people on the basis of a media house showing us reports, which then show that there is something which is wrong with the national security. So any independent media house will always show both sides of the story. That does not mean that just by showing one specific faction, they become anti-national.
Thank you very much, Pallavi, for speaking to us. Clearly a big win for press freedoms as well as for the issue of the principles of natural justice today, as the Supreme Court makes very pointed comments in its judgment, saying that national security is not an issue that can be raised in thin air, that press must be allowed to report, that it is the duty of a free press to report and show truth to power. With this verdict now coming in, the question now is, how does this affect the proceedings going forward? MediaOne, of course, has gotten a big relief, but the government has been trying to push sealed cover reports in several other cases. What does that mean for those cases is something we'll have to wait and see. In New Delhi, with cameraman Ashwini Helen, this is Aneesha, Mathur for India Today.